All right, it's Cigar Saturday here on a Saturday night. It's Matty Rock. We see him a lot on the show, but he's actually our special guest tonight. It's Sanj Patel. Welcome to the show. How you guys doing?
We're doing great. How you doing, Tom?
Good, good. We're enjoying one of your cigars. I am from well, how long ago was this one from? I know we're talking about the new SP1014. I lit up this one because this is what I could find.
That's 3-year-old we released.
3 years old. Okay. Love this
Yeah.
one. And we're going to be talking about the new SP1014. But first of all, hey, let's all join together with a cigar or a glass or something in hand and wish Sanj a happy birthday. It was yesterday,
Thank
Sanj.
you.
He looks good for 25, right?
How did he do this? What is the secret, Sanj?
See, he looks good for 25.
55. Big 5-5. Double nickel.
Oh man. Congratulations. What now how have you guys been celebrating the birthday over the weekend? What have you guys been doing?
So we were not looking to celebrate anything because we did not have a cigars, SP1014 Black. But
Right.
it turned into a party because we had a couple hundred people just showed up, and that was it. I left 3 a.m. Tired as hell. Today I came late, and it was a good time.
He was cranky. I called him early to see if he wanted birthday breakfast. And it was not a pleasant phone call this morning, Tom. It's not a pleasant phone call at all, sir.
They had you out till 3 a.m. last night. Is that what I heard?
Yes.
Where all did you go to celebrate?
Right here at the shop. Everybody just showed up, and it was one big party.
Come on, Tom. You've been here. You know this is Party Central.
I know it never left Sanj's. Were you there for a little while too, Matty?
No, hell no. 3 o'clock in the morning, I was on like my 15th dream.
T3.
Hell no. I'm old, Tom. Don't get this. I was asleep like a baby.
I love it. I love it. So it sounds like a lot of good people came for your birthday. They came from all around, right?
They did. Look,
Yeah.
watch. I like putting people on the spot. So first, we have our buddy Paul.
Happy birthday to Sanj.
We know our local guy, but look, come on, ladies, wave and tell where you're from. Come on, everybody.
Maryland, Southern Maryland, Baltimore,
DMV, Northern Virginia.
Yes.
Joyzy.
So see, we got about 40 more peeps in the room in the back watching the Yankees trying very hard to lose, which is pissing me the boop and no boop and it off. And then there's a couple more people outside in the back because it's quite pleasant out this evening. That was an Accu Matty Rock weather statement. It gets the Matty Rock seal of approval.
I love it. So really good time there. Obviously, we're excited about the new release, the cigar. It's going to be coming. I know it's named SP1014 for a reason, isn't it?
Well, remember this one is the SP1014 Black, and I'm going to let Sanj tell you the history and everything in it. I'll just give you the cliff notes, and Sanj will take it away. So basically, brand new stick. You're hearing SP1014 Black. It's going to be nothing like the SP1014 Red. It's going to be blended by Sanj and Eladio Diaz, and I'm going to let Sanj fill you in on all the linear, baby.
Yes. Well, we're excited about it, Sanj.
Yes. So it's actually the re-release of the original one. So in '92 we had the SP1014 Red, SP1014 Black, and we're gonna release it. Same concept, same project. Project killed the industry, so it's still gonna remain 30-year-old pricing. So it's $9, $10, $11, and $12 cigar.
Wow. And you're keeping it the same price as what?
I'm sorry?
You're keeping it the same price as it was back in the day.
Yes, 100%. So same thing we did with the SP1014 Red.
And again, the first one came out last year. This one, how does it differ? What makes it a little different?
So it's a complete. So SP1014 Red is a Dominican Puro. And then the SP1014 Black, it has 7 different tobaccos. So which is, normally it's the hottest combination to achieve. But the creator, actually, Eladio Diaz, who mastered that. So if you talk to like a lot of other cigar manufacturers, well-known cigar manufacturers, they'll tell you that was the hottest cigar they blended. And Eladio and what he has achieved, it's unbelievable. So the samples we had, people we gave it to, normally when manufacturer makes cigars and comes out with different cigars, right? You still know back of your head that this is from this particular family, this particular company. So this is completely, you can put 2 and 2 together. And that's what we want to achieve. So a lot of people who said, hey, how you going to top, the red? And I said, wait until you smoke the black. And then they all said, so it's a great, great cigar. We're proud, and we're proud that we could do it for, 30-year-old pricing.
Amazing. And again, the same price as 30 years ago is what you did.
I'm sorry?
The same price as you did 30 years ago.
Yes. $9, $10, $11, and $12. So 5x50, which is $9 MSRP. 5x54, which is $10 MSRP. 6x54, it's $11, and 7x54, it's $12. So even $12, $15 today's pricing is below average price. So this is, actually a very, listen, if I was a regular cigar manufacturer and, used Eladio's name and priced that cigar at $40, I still sell the same amount of it.
Yeah. Wow. And I think I'll have Sanj give a little, so people out there who don't know, names behind what they do, Eladio Diaz is probably one of the, the 5 or 6 living masters, which is a very, very big deal. So
at probably his level, no one. So in 1980, when Davidoff came to U.S., they demanded that Eladio will come and blend for us. That's the only way they will come to U.S. And then Eladio's been with Davidoff since 1980 to November 2021. Wow. And then we actually had blended the cigars. So SP's made since last year. We were supposed to launch it last year, everything together. But because he had a non-compete with Davidoff, so we had to hold off on it.
Right.
So, even like next year project, Charisma, it's already blended. It's already made. So we're going to release that next October.
So you already have next year's, the one you're going to drop about this time next year, already read and made. It's called the Charisma.
Yes.
And how will that one? What will that one look like?
I'm sorry.
What will the Charisma look like? What kind of cigar would that be?
So Charisma would have a gold band and gold writing. Instead, how SP1014 is red. So everything in Charisma would change. So SP1014 black is everything black, and Charisma would be gold.
Yes. Very nice. And again, we're so excited, and big congrats to you. A little bit of a delay on this one because some things were unexpectedly moving a little slower, but we're still excited about it, right? It's still coming very soon.
Yeah, so it was and we were ready, but Mother Nature, so they had that storm 3 weeks ago, and the factory where boxes and rings are being made, they had no electric. They got electric the day before yesterday, back, and they printed all the bands, everything, and just today, 5 o'clock, they delivered it to factory. So Monday, they're going to start putting the bands on, and they're working on the 5-packs. And once it's done, so it'll take them, once the 5-pack comes, putting bands on 20,000 cigars, it's a 2 days work. Nothing, no big deal.
Sure. And so how much
shipping from factory to here would take us about, 6 business days.
Right. How much did the storm affect them then? Was there much of an impact?
I'm sorry, Tom?
As far as how big the storm was, what was the storm like? How did it affect them?
Well, so they had a lot of water damage.
Right.
Where the printing factory is, actually, they have a high roads, and then they on the bottom of the hill. So all that water that damaged Puerto Rico and Florida, all that, they got the tail end of it.
Right.
And they lost a lot of electric and all. So, it delayed. But if that didn't happen, we were on schedule.
Right. And again, everybody's okay as far as
100%.
That's good.
Nobody got hurt. Nobody's doing anything. So it was just a great time.
Right. Well, that's It's good that only electricity was lost. That's so important. Have you, again, on a larger scale, as far as how the storm affected other cigars flowing to you? Did it delay a lot of other things that were coming your way, or is it mainly just this one?
No, I mean, there are a lot of companies right now, they're struggling simply because they don't have a lot of stuff. And, I think
Right.
a lot of manufacturers holding product because, what they did to Habano's market, they're trying to raise the prices for no apparent reason,
Right.
and that's what's happening right now. Every company, you can't get product all of a sudden, and when the product comes back, Davidoff just raised almost 20%.
Really?
Every cigar.
Just like this past week or so.
Yeah. Week before last, Davidoff late hour Churchill, we had it for $19.10. The new MSRP is $27.90.
From 19 to 27.
Yeah.
Wow. And why? And why do you think?
So basically, it's $28.
Yeah, 32% jump. Yep.
32. Why do you think that was? Why did that happen?
Just greed. Because you know what? People are paying. And last night we had a great conversation with a lot of people. And I say, people, if you don't pay, why is it that a $9 cigar that people willing to pay 18, 19, 20, 25? So you allowing them to charge you. So, if you say, hey, and the great thing about cigar smoking, right, is if you smoke $10 cigar and you can't get it, you could smoke $5 cigar. But people, the most of the smokers today, they want to play imported. If they don't feel that, hey, I got this cigar, right? But they don't even understand. A lot of the companies, they hold their product to raise the prices, raise the demand, not prices, raise the demand. And then these fucking new smokers come in and they think, oh, we can't get it because, it's selling out. No, it's products being held purposely.
Wow.
And that's how they jack up the prices.
Are you seeing it just on a couple brands, or are you seeing it on a lot of brands?
90% of all brands that we deal with have gone up, and tremendous. I mean, this is in my 31 years of retail career, I have never seen a jump that I have seen a jump in the last 7 months.
And so part of it, you think, and while there could be some industries that say, hey, it's because of the pandemic or inflation, you think this is well above what it should be.
So look, here's my thing. I hate when people use fucking pandemic for everything, right?
Right.
I was closed for 4.5 months. We didn't come back and say, hey, I got to make up that loss. Listen, that's the cost of doing business. So why is it that every time something happens, you want to blame every fucking thing on pandemic? I don't get it. Your cigars are made, right? If you could get it out and it costs you same price, then fucking put it out. This is all bullshit. Listen, every excuse, if pandemic didn't happen, they'll use something else. So before pandemic, how did they raise the prices? Oh, FDA raised our, registration fee. Well, guess what? Operating cost of business, it should be your burden, not a consumer's burden. You want to play, you want to, have a nice office, beautiful place, then it should be your burden, not your client's burden. And that's the whole concept. Look, we don't jack up prices here. MSRP is MSRP. And again, we have remodeled this place in 30 years, 6 times. Last remodeling we did, we spent over $400,000, and people are like, you're going to raise price. I say, I didn't do this shop for you. I did it. You have an opportunity. You get bored, you could get up and leave. I'm here. So this is for me. And I have to look at it, right? So, no, we're not going to raise the price. But this is everything today. There's an excuses after excuses. And guess what? They know that no one's going to speak up, or no one's going to raise any kind of, awareness about it. Because I just did a blog last week, right? Very related to our business. They always allow professional people.
Sure.
Before I even appeared, 2 weeks before, Matty Rock got calls from professional people in our industry and say, hey, why Sanj is going to that blog? He's doing so good with his SPs, and he's well known all over the world. Why does he want to go there and rattle the cage? And Matty's like, hey, what's the problem? And he goes, well, Then they even said they went too far. He said, they could get them for slander. They could get them for all kinds of stuff. And the question is, if you speak the truth, there's no slander. There's no lying.
Right.
And then that's exactly what they said. Yeah. They listened to my podcast, and Matty's like, does he lie? And he goes, no, that's a problem.
Yep. So that's the issue with it,
Right.
And like I said, when everybody is in bed with everybody else, that's every industry. I know, Tom, on your side, it happens.
Sure.
There's certain places where you'll see inexplicable jumps and stuff if they figure. There's a couple true blue places that I know. We will not name the pricing is stayed around the same, and the only costs passed on to the customer are costs by inflation and everything else that's going on. But like I said, if you can do something as an industry that gets you more money, most people are going to try to do it and take advantage of it. Right? I mean, it's just, unfortunately, it's something spread across, multiple avenues, multiple businesses, multiple offerings. But, like I said, cigar industry could be seen easier because it's not as ginormous as some of the other businesses out there, right? So you get to kind of firsthand see things a little bit better. Are there certain things that are issues? Yeah, there are, but there's other ones that, again, that don't jive in with those numbers. Are there delays in getting products? There are, but now you have to equate that by, hey, how much extra did you sell during the pandemic? Those numbers have been anywhere from 8 to 12 to 13%, depending upon the manufacturer. So remember, while it was true that you were hurting trying to get some other products in, or maybe even the accessories in which to build up your boxes with, and paper and boxes and bands, I'm like, for the most part during the pandemic, industries like the cigar industry and the spirit industry actually did quite well because people had much more time in their hands to enjoy these kind of things, right?
Absolutely. No, I agree, Matty. I think what Sanj is saying is so important. I mean, we have to just be aware of what's happening, and what do you all hope that consumers will do when they see these increases? Sanj, what do you? What do you?
That's the problem.
That's a problem.
Consumers don't say anything because guess what? They're so accustomed to paying different pricing for every different retailer. And look, if a manufacturer raises the price, retailer has no choice. Right? So, but there are retailers that raising additional. Like, look, company went up $6, we raised $6. My profit margin is still the same. When I was selling for $19, now I'm selling for $28. My profit margin is still the same. Am I losing anything? No, I only raise what manufacturers rate. But other shops, what they'll do, they'll raise 20, 30% higher than MSRP. And that's where the problem comes in. So if you see a shop that's, now look, I always tell people, information today is in palm of your hand. You have a whole world in palm of your hand, right? Just Google the fucking pricing, you'll see it. If the cigar is MSRP $10 and if the guy wants to charge you fucking $32, don't buy it. Because he's, yes, of course, if you're in California, they have a, 75% tax. If in California, that cigar is $26, it's worth it. But not in fucking New Jersey.
What is the tax in California again on tobacco? What is
75%.
So they actually, and what is it in New Jersey?
30%.
Wow. So we're really looking at, so you're going to pay more. And again, 75, that's quite a bit, isn't it?
Yes, but you look at Commonwealth State, zero tax. So if a cigar costs us $10 here, we pay $3 tax on it.
Yep. That's what people forget, Tom. You just talked about something that's pretty important too, to a certain extent. Not as hideous as with tobacco, but it's not federally mandated. Those taxes are state mandated.
State mandated.
So state to state, everything changes, as you can see. Imagine a state with 0% to a state with 75%. So the consumer has quite a few things to be aware of. They have to be aware of what the dead retail is. And when I say dead retail is, means you go to the actually place where it's produced before it gets to a store and understand what the dead retail is. And you know what? As part of a consumer protecting themselves, information is out there. You go up, you take a look, and you see what the dead retail is in that price. And on the other side, consumer needs to ask themselves too, do they know and understand and appreciate what they're smoking? And this is something we've talked about on numerous shows with numerous guests. What and why are you smoking? Are you smoking something because you love it and you enjoy it? Are you smoking something maybe because it's brand new, which is entirely acceptable? Are you smoking it under the illusion of, hey, check out and look at me smoking? And again, you and I have seen that in every industry. There's the same kind of people there's two kind of people, right? That'll buy a Lamborghini, right? It's the one that's, since he's 4 years old, can tell you every bit of construction of the car, the horsepower, the torque, everything about that car. And they told themselves if they ever made the money, they were going to get it, right? And you go up to them, they'll tell you everything probably plus 10 times more than you want to hear about the car. Then you have another guy who just has the money, knows absolutely nothing about the car, but wants to let you know that he drives a Lamborghini. You could ask him what's in the engine. I don't know. How many cylinders? I don't know. How many horsepower? And he doesn't know. All he wants you to know is that he has a Lamborghini. And honestly, that's it in a lot of our industries. With cigars, I'm not naming names or brands of certain people that'll literally thump the band in your forehead and be like, hey, man, this tastes just the way so-and-so did 10 years ago. When people are truly aficionados will look at you and be like, come on, dude, really? But, they want to do that. So it's a joke. I mean, same in your industry. There'll be bourbons and whiskeys that you've had that you look at and you kind of scratch your head. And I was like, hey, man, I was drinking this 15 years ago when people were busting on me, and it was no big deal, right? So literally no big deal. And now all of a sudden it's picked up that popularity steam. Nothing has changed. Nothing else is different. But magically it's gone up 30, 40, 50%.
Yeah.
Right. So, same kind of thing. And like I said, and you ask yourself what you're drinking. There's people, when I had the club and managing on the bar side of it, I only drink this, or I only want this vodka. Well, have you ever tried? No, I would never drink that. You blind taste test them. They go to the exact opposite one and absolutely insist that that's what they want. And I'd laugh and I'd be like, a connoisseur knows what they like. Other people just know what they want you to see. So I think that's a big problem in the industry, but that's a big problem in a lot of industries like this.
So many industries. And again, there is obviously an acceptable amount that we can know that, okay, the inflation has affected certain things. Of course. But then
you look at the inflation numbers that we see today. If they're telling you that inflation rates are up a percentage of, 8.1%, you know what? Use that as your deadline factor, because there's so many multiple instruments involved in, getting cigars produced and liquor and everything else. And, some things are being price gouged, other things are not. So it's balanced, but I can promise you, I haven't seen 30% inflation on anything.
Not 30.
And I don't think, so when you're making 30% applicable to a liquor, to a cigar, to anything, a car, where's your cost justification? Okay, I'll play into the 8.1% that's a national inflation average. Right. I understand that. That's why it's an average. But 30%, 40%, are you playing into supply and demand? Yeah. What are you playing into exactly?
That's real. And I feel like what's happening, and I hope it doesn't continue, but the companies have said, okay, what's happened here is there's been inflation. They've used this to take advantage, I feel like. It seems like they have.
Yeah, and like I said, we haven't really seen anything like this in 100 years, right? So everybody's cautiously playing to see exactly what they can do to get the prices. Like I said, Sanj probably said the best thing on the planet, and I can promise is actually every business, retail, restaurant, airline, the money you lost, it's gone. You cannot go back. You cannot redo the 2 years that were lost by COVID. And a lot of people and a lot of board. And again, I do have a certain amount of empathy in how these things go. When people are going to look on a board and being like, what are we going to do to recoup those last 2 years? And the honest part is, you're not going to recoup those last 2 years. Stop trying to gouge your consumer. I mean, you see it on airlines. Look what the hotels did. Hey, people are roaring back. Hey, you remember this place I used to stay that was $199 a night? Eat me. It's now $399 a night because we got to go get that money back. And look, people have been itching to get out. So what do they, instead of the thing which should be like, fuck it, you were $200 a night before the pandemic and now you're go F yourself. But look, consumerism is a problem, right? Consumers want what they want. So guess what? They helped add to that. So when you go out and deep down something is not worth it, but you insist because you want it, hey, you're the consumer is also adding to the problem. Yeah. So like I said, it's
true.
it's a terrible cycle. There's no nice way to say it. There's a terrible cycle of shit that everybody bears responsibility to, right?
But the crazy thing about this industry, my industry, right? At COVID time, actually manufacturers and retailers had the best last 2 years. They themselves saw it. Because guess what they did? As soon as the COVID hit, they said you couldn't open or you could do drive-through and stuff like that. Right. These fucking assholes raised the prices 25, 30% for no apparent reason. So if you're selling more product, lower your prices, right? And look, at the same time, what we did at pandemic time, everybody was jacking up prices. And the existing stuff, the manufacturer never raised it. So I said, we're going to teach them a lesson, right? We did everything, $90 retail price of gift set. We sold it for $31. But guess what? We sold 2,000, 3,000 units in 2 days. Then I did every company. I did buy a box, get a box free at MSRP. And then the retailers are mad at me, like, why are you doing that? I said, because you're simply robbing people.
Right.
Yeah. You know, if anything, something like that happens, you have to come together and help people. You know, if you're
got to help them. That's right.
Clients, listen, every client of mine that came to our shop and they didn't come because they couldn't work or anything, guess what we told them? Come here, smoke, don't even bother paying. For like 4 months, even when I was closed, I would come down here, check on the system and stuff. I see somebody here, I see it, take a box on us. Wow. You know, that's the way we do business. But other people, what they did, every cigar shop, oh, this is $10. Now I got to deliver it to you at the door. You're going to pay me $15. And that's a problem. So consumers should learn and say, you know what, fuck this guy. I don't give a fuck who it is. Boycott them.
Right.
Because you're robbing your own customer. So, you know, where is the love of industry? So you call brothers of the leaf, sister of the leaf. Where is all that? Right? If your neighbor's hungry, what do? You don't say, hey, I'm going to charge you money for this. No, you offer them. Even if you have a fucking loaf of bread, you give them half a bread.
Right.
Instead of saying, yo, if you want a half a bread, you know, I'm going to charge you $50. No, it's stupid. And that's why now all these businesses, nobody wants to go. Nobody's supporting them, and they're bent out of shape. Well, you didn't support your own clients. Here, if you lost your job, anything, we give you free cigars.
And that's what you've done the last couple of years.
Yeah.
That's why as customers that walk in that have been here from when the doors opened 30 plus years ago. So again, it's, you know.
You don't take the situation and, you know, make positive things for you. And that's all temporary. Right? And people are going to learn. And people are like, wait a minute, you know, you did this. And look, it's crazy.
There's people who do things that have some authenticity and they're not being disingenuous, which I accept. I have Paul sitting to the right of me, and he would even tell you in the restaurants, there were some people, the amount that food costs went up were there. But guess what? There's restaurants that told you on the bill, right? Here is the extra 4.5% excise, and you'd actually see it on the bill, the price. You know, they didn't dick around or jack with the other price. Like, here, we're charging, our margin's going to be the same, but in order for us to stay in business, we're actually showing you, here, these prices are the same. This is what the excise is. We don't care if you like the name or not, because we don't like that we're here to begin with, but here's the COVID tax, right? Because restaurants legitimately had no people going to them. But we know a lot of restaurants, right, that legitimately said, okay, here's the set. We're hurting a little bit, but in order for us to stay around, we need you to hurt a little bit with us, but we're showing it to you.
Yeah.
And see, stuff like that, I'm absolutely okay with. I'm not okay with, like, hey, I walked into my favorite restaurant and my $45 steak is now $90. I'm like, we already told you. The money that's gone is gone. You cannot get it back. And the second part is, as far as I know, inflation was not 100%. Cut the bullshit. Your steak, your costing did not go up that much. Right. Tell me why. And I said, you show me proof. Why'd your steak go from $45 to $90? And we all know they can't answer it because it's disingenuous.
Right.
They're not going to be able to answer it. Nothing went up 100%. Is there massive inflation? Yes. Is it hard to get certain things? Yeah. Are there certain things without? Yeah. But if you're being cutesy and shit and charging 100%, you know,
that's
I hope you sleep
much.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's what we're, and I'm so glad you guys are saying this, because it's something we're all thinking, and we're thinking, well, we want to be respectful, and we understand there's inflation, and yet it's sometimes hard for some of us to say, why are you doing this? You know, and I feel like maybe we should be asking those questions sometimes.
I mean, absolutely. And the first thing like this, when I charge you to do a promotion, I don't go, hey, the last 2 years of me I didn't have those 2 years. You know what? My promotion that cost you $4 or $5 grand, it's double. Well, Matt, why is it double? Inflation prices. No. My inflation prices would be apparent to what actual inflation is. The rest is, gee whiz, I didn't make that money for the last 2 years. I need to make it now. And like I said, nobody has been in this position for 100 years. So if they keep saying it out loud, what they're doing, and look at themselves in the mirror, you know, they're going to have to understand that money is lost. The whole globe was at a loss for 2 years. So be careful in how you treat your customers, and you want to have future customers, because gouging them for wages that you didn't make for 2 years lost, for a good number of people went around the board. Yeah, there are people who made more money, and there are people who were able to capitalize on the pandemic. Yeah, but guess what? There's an awful lot of people who didn't, an awful lot of people who didn't work. So don't, you know, if you think you're suffering, I got news for you. The other person on the other side of the table has probably gone through the same amount of suffering as you have. And I think everybody across the board, both consumer, retail, everything needs to understand that.
Yeah, it's so important. Hey, I want to tell you guys, we have a lot of happy birthdays for Sanj coming in. We have Ed Randolph, who's asking for
Hey, what up, baby? Ed!
Sanj for president here. Glenn's happy birthday, Sanj. John Rios, we just saw John in Kentucky. John? We saw him in Kentucky a couple weeks ago. Schmalowitz, thank you. So many great people watching. Tell us down below, too, no matter who you are, tweet back to us what you've seen go up in price, or tell us your thoughts, you know, and ask us questions. We love that you guys watch us every week. And, you know, one of the good pieces of news here that we can say is, first of all, SP1014 Black is coming. So hashtag SP1014, like this video, share it, help support Sanj's wonderful new cigar that's coming out. We're so excited about this. And where can they find this new cigar as it's coming, Sanj? Where would they be able to find it?
So first we're going to launch 20. So this is our thing. So first 20,000 cigars, we're going to just sell it from here. And that money, so every time we launch something, we take about 20,000 cigars and we donate it to a cause, right? So we're going to sell first 20,000 from here. And then January 7th, after our anniversary party, we'll have the cigars to our retail partners. 35 retail partners in the U.S., they'll have it. So we already have orders in place for our retail partners, you know. So that's our plan.
I would still let people know now, Tom. Hey, if any of you guys out there think I'm going to come pick up your sticks and mail it to you, then I'm going to be one of the guys that charges 100%. Come and get it yourself. Leave me alone.
He's doing it. Yeah.
Or 100%. You know, it's the Matty Rock Foundation.
It's
that's what I heard. Knowledge. I need knowledge.
The foundation of knowledge. I like it. I like it. Hey, what do you guys think? Do you think that we've seen the pendulum go a certain way? Do you think we'll see the pendulum with the unnecessary increases? Do you think we'll see it swing back? Will it ever swing back? What will happen?
I'm not sure yet. I mean, even what I see from day to day going out and being on the road, I can't tell you. Like I said, look, every single day you hear the same about, right? Well, COVID. So people look, I'm not saying people still aren't getting COVID. I'm still not saying it's not going on, but you can't make that comparison yet. No matter what you ask anybody about anything, it's COVID. So again, this has not happened in 100 years. I do not know how long people are going to hold on to it. I do not know. Like I said, it's very hard to be able to distinguish what labor numbers are, because when it comes to politics, both sides keep skewing those numbers. They'll say X amount of people have gone back to work, but this X amount of people are still getting X amount of dollars. So it's hard to say. So I hear it all the time. Matt, what do I do? I'm not able, there's no labor force out there. What do I do? And then you hear other people go, gee, I sure wish I had a job. So I don't know. It's unfamiliar territory. I've never seen it before. I don't understand it. I don't know where it's going to. What are your thoughts, Sanj?
I mean, look, it's just a lot of people, a lot of manufacturers. I can't speak for any other business, but my business, I definitely know that they're milking the system with this and just the excuse. I mean, look, at that end, nothing has changed, right? Manufacturing has nothing changed, you know. And what little bit, 2-3% has gone up. Listen, I wouldn't even change any of it. You know, if it was me, I mean, look, we're doing it. So again, what prompted these cigars to go up $9 a cigar?
It's crazy.
And look, we get
Drew
it.
Estate, they raised the fucking January to now. Price has gone up 4 times, 5 times.
Everybody, yeah.
Everybody. And
Everybody
what?
across
What,
the board.
for what?
Everybody.
And anybody knows cigar making, they know that they have enough inventory. It's not like, you know, you buy tomorrow, make it. It's not like, you know, Ad buying steak today and he's got to cook it within a week. After that, it's garbage, right? So, you know, if Ed goes back and buys a steak again, yesterday he paid $20 a pound. Today he might pay $24 a pound. But, you know, Ed can say, hey, I'm going to raise $4 on my menu, but not say, hey, I'm going to charge you now the steak, like Matty said, what I was charging you $40, now I'm going to charge you $85. So same thing in the tobacco business, the same thing. The warehouse is full of cigars. They're just holding it, creating demand, and the, you know, jerk off consumer don't seem to see it.
And they're holding them back, you think?
Yeah, absolutely. Wow. So, you know, they're like, hey, if you want it, now we're going to raise the price. All of a sudden, we don't have it. Look, just what happened. 2 major companies announced that over 600, 700 facings, they're going to discontinue. What happened? Right? So when FDA came in, they said, if you're not, your company you didn't manufacture cigars prior to 7 days, you couldn't come out with anything new. So what these people did, they used the same tobacco, made different sizes. So now you feed the eye. So instead of 4 shapes, now they made 20 shapes. Now none of that shit is selling. Now they all have to take it off the market. Instead of doing that, continue what sizes you were selling and make that cigar. Now the cigar that was selling, we can't get it. And now they got to take everything out. Davidoff's taking off almost 960 facings of their cigars.
Yep.
Includes Camaros, includes Avos, includes Zeno, includes some of the, not many Davidoff, but Camacho basically is going to go off the market.
Oh, really?
Yep. So now you see even the other side. Now there's the other side that when you strip, look, when you have something like the FDA who says we know what's best,
yeah,
and we know how to do it, and we know how to skew these cigars. When you have somebody investigating what you do and what your business is, one would like to hope that they actually understand the business. So now you just saw another monkey wrench thrown in. So when you see all these absolutely ridiculous discrepancies, so if you're a company that has all these SKUs, you're scratching your head now you're jumping. It's not necessarily a monetary issue on the front end, but when you have to try to recycle a VIN or a SKU or something else, you're screwed.
Yeah.
So again, here we go again. The FDA is like, we're out to save the world. When in fact, you're actually causing more problems, right?
So it's 970 SKUs, you said, Sanj?
Yes.
For Davidoff. They're just taking them off all their...
Yes.
And why do you think...
Drew Estate, about 600 and something, right?
So what they'll do is, like I said, the way that the FDA has it set up, you're paying for each one. You got to literally pay now when you put it out to hold those SKUs and whether you can or can't recycle them. Like I said, it's all which version of legalese that you read. So what happens, right, even something that seems like a good idea, when you want to reshuffle your brands and everything, you have to retire actually sizes so you could go pick up those SKUs.
Yeah.
So like I said, and then that's one part. Even you do it, that's more on the FDA side of it, because if you're doing all those SKUs to try to recycle stuff, usually the bigger the company and the longer you've been around, you have to do it. I'm like, but at the end of the day, it doesn't just screw the company, it screws the consumer too. So now on top of everything that we just spoke about, you have stuff put in place by the FDA that's causing all these roadblocks and changing stuff. And maybe the product that you loved and you like, you can't get, or it's going to get yanked in size because this is how you had to get things through into the marketplace. So it's just, it's a shitstorm, really.
And the SKUs that are being yanked, are they actually active or are they just being held, do you think?
Yeah, they're active.
They're active.
And they have to, and like I said, then they have to be re-skewed because that's what you paid for. You paid for each SKU. I think the document literally something like an RFS said like 960 pages of doom. So when you read through it, or it's public, so people could go out there and read it. But then, it just makes your head hurt.
Right.
Because again, at the end of the day, our tobacco price. What you're smoking in your hands is pure tobacco. And their thought process when they started all this, I think it really officially started 8 or 9 years ago when they decided to come to war with it. Is like, hey, you know what? Cigar companies, it's just like a cigarette company. They have billions and billions and billions of dollars. So look, they're not going to stop. Everybody's still going to make their money, and we're going to make our money. We'll have ruthless taxes and everything else. But at the end of the day, what they don't understand is they shut down boutique places. Third world countries that are producing tobaccos and everything else, you're hurting them and stopping what they're doing. You're crushing mom and pop shops. You're crushing boutique brands and smaller brands. And it's funny, what's the biggest thing the government says they hate is monopolies, right? So actually what you're doing is paving the way back to monopolization, right? So how'd that really work out?
No, it didn't work out so well. And the reason why those are being taken off, it's a large part the FDA to blame.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, that's just, it's so bad. Again, but the good news is the SP1014 is coming, and it will be the same price as it was 30 years ago.
Yes.
And I can't wait to try it. I mean, I know I love the original one. This one, what excites you about this one that, that's a little different?
So my major excitement with this particular SP is, so everyone who knows me knows that Eladio Diaz, since I was, young, it was one of my dreams to work with Eladio Diaz.
Yes.
And, almost after 26, 27 years later, it came through. So that was like, just the most exciting thing for me, So it's like, if you're a kid and, you have a ball player in mind, imagine working with that ball player.
Yeah.
So to me, Eladio Diaz was by one of the only guy that I said someday I would love to blend with him, and here we are.
Amazing. And this particular blend, the flavors that we can look forward to. What are the flavors we're going to be getting off this one?
It's a lot more sweeter, a lot more cocoa-y than the SP1014 Red. A lot more Mexican. There's a pepper called gajujo pepper, so it has like spiciness, but has a sweet notes to it. Very denser, lot denser cigar than the SP1014 Red, but it's completely different level of cigar. So far, everyone loves it.
I love it. I can't wait to try it.
Everyone loves it.
Are you guys having one right now? Or are you?
I'm sorry?
Oh no, there's none left, so we're smoking the reds.
Yes.
You're smoking the reds.
Even though the release date was 10/14, it's now SP1014-ish.
Yes.
#ish.
Well, but no. So hey, with all fairness, even when we posted, it said SP1014 Black coming October 2022. We never put a date on it. So there you go.
See, he's smart. It's like the coffee shop by my house. You bastards, you ever gonna open? Are you? 6 months? Come on. I'm fine. Go ahead.
Hey, I did one of your original. What did you call the ones with the dots on them, Sanj?
Yeah, that's the dot head.
The dot head.
Tom, you can say it. #not racist. We've been over this.
Right. Now I've
that's
lit up
Section 8 Deluxe.
This is another one from the humidor that I found. So
yes, that's the Section 8 Deluxe.
What's this one having? And I'm forgetting.
That's the Section 8 Deluxe. That's a Honduran Puro.
Honduran Puro. This is very nice. Very nice. And again, a lot of great people watching. Hey, Chris Duque watching. Thank you, Chris.
Oh,
hey, Chris.
Hawaii represent, yo. What up, son?
That's right. And Phil Schmolowitz wanted to say he thought the first 20,000 were for him.
Yeah, and I'll smoke them in 15 minutes.
Hey, Phil smoked some of those, and he knows, one after another. He knows.
He does. Daryl is wishing you a happy birthday.
You.
Daryl Brown and my cousin David watching. Thanks, everybody. So many good people watching tonight on Cigar Saturday. Make sure you guys like this and share this because we have these conversations every week. And again, probably in the next few weeks, we'll be lighting up one of these, right, Sanj?
Yes. Soon as I have it in my hand, I will mail it out.
Thank you. Oh, I can't wait.
Well, I thought we just discussed the Matty Rock,
Well, Matty's trying to go up on 100%.
I'm going to leave it go. Just 75% extra for the Matty Rock Foundation.
Thank you for that. It's a real deal.
The charitable Matty Rock Knowledge Foundation.
The foundation.
I mean, it's really going to go to food, but at least I'm being honest.
It's going to happen. I love it. It's a good foundation to support. Please support that. And again, there'll be some of those initially at your smoke shop. They'll be at other retailers across the country, right?
In January, other retailers would have it in January.
Other retailers in January, and then a year from now, you already have that one. It's ready to go, right?
Yeah, the Charisma is already made, and we're going to release it in October of 2023.
So many great new sticks. What do you foresee with everything you're doing with Eladio, with the sticks you've done? What do you hope to put out there as you're looking forward in the years? And
look, my goal is very simple, right? I want to put out a fucking tremendous cigar for a very reasonable price. That's my goal, and that's all coming under a project called Kill the Industry, and that's all is to it. Listen. It's a point that I want to prove to all these manufacturers. Listen, none of these people could, even our SPs, they can't compete with it. Construction is not there. Quality is not there. Everything we're saying is there for us. And, prices are, look, $9 in Lancero. I mean, people who understand cigars, our Lancero is 13.5 grams. Our Robusto is 15.5 grams. Our Toro is 16.5 grams. And look, so far, we almost sold 220,000 cigars in January to now, and zero complaint. And that's the thing. We just my goal is
guarantee. You put a guarantee on your sticks, don't you?
Yes, absolutely. Even our
nobody else does that.
$6. It comes with guarantee. Find me a fucking cigar company doing that.
There's just not one. There's just not one. And you hope this inspires other cigar makers to do something that
other cigar makers not going to do it. They're not going to do it. You know what?
Right.
They could have done it 10 years ago. They could have done it now. My thing is, look, when situation comes like what's happening today, a lot of people don't have jobs due to pandemic, all this. You have to give them a great product for a very reasonable price. Not go the other way around and say, hey, I'm going to give you shit product and raise the fucking prices. Right. And that's the thing. Look, we're only doing what our boxes says, love and passion. Ends right there.
Yep. So,
and to me, my goal is I would never ever manufacture a cigar more than $12. Ever. And guess what? Every cigar, if I give it to a connoisseur, bring whoever you want, bring connoisseurs, if we give them blank cigars and let them tell me otherwise. And guarantee you, they can't do it.
No difference in blind testing in what you do, Tom. And also the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
Blind both sides of the industry. On the consumer side, you have to ask the consumer to step up. Like I said, you can only blame one side so much. You have to ask yourself, why are you smoking, drinking, eating? Is it to be seen? Is it to make a statement? Or is it what you truly love?
Yeah.
And look, I will never hold against anybody. If you're truly drinking, eating, smoking, driving, wearing what you truly love and what's important to you, all the power in the world to you. You should never tell anybody what they like, what they love, and what they care about. However, people got to go back and really think about it in their hearts. Are you doing this because it's what you love and what you like? Or are you doing something because it's what people want to be seeing you wearing or smoking or driving or doing? So consumerism, right? You got to think about what you're doing. Remember what drives everything. At the end of the day, your consumer drives everything. So think about what you do. Think about the choices you make, and also make people be accountable. You're paying for a product. Have accountability to it. Yeah. So if there's something that you smoked, 12 years ago, and in your heart that it's a different stick and it's magically gone up 200%, are you going to walk up to someone and go, delicious, I'm doing it, look what I'm smoking? Or are you going to go back to the well and be like, hey, man, I sure wish this went back to the old days. What changed? Yeah. Ask questions, talk, speak up.
Ask them. Have a conversation. That's right.
I mean, you don't want it. Would you want to go drive a Corvette with a 4-cylinder engine? I don't think so. And then would you want to pay double for it? Talk, speak, ask. And if you ask, that's how you're going to look. Like I said, the availability to knowledge in this day is supreme. Yeah. Like I said, unfortunately, there's misinformation. But again, at the end of the day, it's the consumer's job to go look, understand, read, and find stuff out. So again, it's a cycle, and you got to ask yourself, are you a brand chaser, or are you a connoisseur of what you love? Or is that something you truly like? And you got to come and have that truth with yourself, man. And it really is, It is that simple.
So the same platforms that made all these and again, we loved a lot of these products even before Facebook and Twitter, Instagram, all that. But we spread the word about these products the last 5, 10, 15 years. The same platforms we use to spread the word, we have to also use as conversation. So that's so important. Just like you're saying.
Look at your world. There's
right.
bourbons and stuff that there's no need to mention. There's stuff that people magically would be like, I can't believe you drink so and so, and it's only $28 a bottle, and that's not at all bougie, but a little bit of magic comes in when it comes to advertising,
really good.
And marketing. And that very same bottle of bourbon, there's absolutely no difference. Distillation is the same, everything is the same, is now double in price, and it's become the bougie thing. And when I was still drinking, which was a long time ago, there's beers that I don't mention the name of those beers that it was like, hey, you got 30 cents. Everybody scraped together 35 cents, put it together. Let's get a 6-pack, and now it's magic and it's great beer. And it's like, I don't know what the hell's wrong with you guys. It's the same piss we've been drinking 25 years ago. So same thing. So the consumers have to, educate themselves. That's kind of the bottom line.
They do. Good hashtag from Duque. Do what you love what you do. Good hashtag.
Absolutely, my brother.
Yes.
And Chris, I will see you in Texas next week.
Yeah, Texas is happening next week. Everybody that's going to be near there, check out barnsmoker.com. Probably still some tickets left, right, Matty?
I'm not sure if there's any left, but take a look. It's down in the bottom of the list. Next Friday and Saturday. It's the Savage Feast. I do not recall if there's any tickets left, but if you want to go eyeball and see if there's anything left, it's going to be an amazing event when it comes to experiential and really cool shit going down. It's just going to, like I said, this is really going to be a summation of the year. It's going to be a lot of fun. It doesn't matter how many of these you go to; it just keeps getting better. Sanj has been 5 or 6 of them already. I mean, every time it's different, it's fun, and we bring more to the party with each show.
We love seeing Sanj in Connecticut. It was so good to see you there, Sanj, and so many more good times to come. And we can't wait to try the new SP1014 Black, which again will be coming here in this month. So be watching for it. Once we all have one in hand, we'll come back on. We'll have one with you. For now, I'm enjoying this. Again, tell me the name of this one again.
That's the Section 8 Deluxe.
Section 8 Deluxe. Love this. Hope you guys are having a good time. Smoking, drinking, everything tonight. Tell us down below what you're having. Take one more moment. And what are you sipping on there, Matty? What is that?
I'm having a nice vintage about 2.5 hours ago sweet tea from McDonald's. Yes. I have subtle notes of dirty Jersey water.
Not too far away, in fact.
Some fake imitation lemon and that extra delicious aftertaste on the paper straw. Delicious, sir.
That paper straw does something on the aging.
That paper straw, let me tell you, it really adds up. Paper.
Like a charred oak barrel in there.
Yeah. I think it needs to be aged a little longer, sir.
Yeah. Well, we may have to invent a straw that has a little char on it. I think that could be a good idea.
Well played, sir. Well played. What are we drinking today, Tom?
I'm actually having a little bit of brandy from Copper and Kings from Louisville, Kentucky. That's what I'm pairing this with. Really good pairing for the Section 8. Nice sweetness, all coming together so beautifully. So
not too far from you, right?
Not too far from me, right? That's right. Just down in Louisville, and I see Sanj. Are you pairing a espresso there, Sanj, with the?
I just had espresso.
Very nice, very nice. Some great pairings. Well, hopefully we'll see a lot of great people next week in Dallas. Hopefully we'll see you guys smoking a great SP1014 very soon. And one way or the other, we'll bring you something live next week from Dallas virtually together. We'll see you guys. What a great conversation tonight. I really enjoyed the conversation. So many great people chiming in there down below. Take a moment again, like this, share this, and tell us your thoughts on how those prices are going up. We just hope they don't go up too much more. Right, Sanj?
Right. I already sold one kidney.
You did, and it was a 75 or 100% increase. When was it?
Ooh, for that kidney, my lawyers have said not to answer those questions.
Yeah,
there's reasons I don't drink anymore.
Yeah. Hey, great to see everybody tonight. It was so nice to have you, Sanj, as our special guest on Cigar Saturday.
My pleasure.
Much love.
Good
night.
See
you next week for the Matty Rock Around the Block episode from Texas at Savage Feast. Much love.
Cheers, everybody. Much love.
Good
See
night.
you guys. Excellent.